The left is going crazy now.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back with you once again. And just when you think the political atmosphere can't get any worse, the left has absolutely gone too far with offering bounties for information on the locations of these Supreme Court conservative justices. I'll get into this after you click the like button, subscribe if you choose to, it's your choice, share, and let me know your thoughts on this. By clicking the like button, it helps the YouTube algorithm. Now, let's get into this. The unhinged left continues their summer of rage targeting the conservative justices over their ruling on Roe versus Wade. Now listen to this. They are actually willing to pay cash to the people who see these judges out in public and reveal exactly where their location is. A group called Shutdown DC are putting offers out there for the rewards. They tweeted, DC service industry workers, if you see Kavanaugh, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Barrett, or Roberts, DM us with the details. We'll Venmo you $50 for a confirmed sighting and $200 if they're still there 30 minutes after your message. Sounds like to me this is crossing the line. To pay someone to tell you where someone is so you can harass and terrorize them is ridiculous. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for protesting, but not in front of someone's house, not in their streets, not in their backyards. Go protest outside City Hall. Go protest outside the fence that was erected in front of the Supreme Court, or in a designated area, but not in a neighborhood terrorizing people. Shutdown DC was formed in 2019 and once said, but we also recognize that forcing Trump from office is the only way to protect ourselves and the people we love from Trump's wrath. And this is the same group that protested outside Senator Josh Hawley's home, which he referred to them as Antifa scumbags. Now look at this photo. What do you see here? You see the officers just standing there outside of these homes providing security, which is perfectly fine, right? But it's time to squash this and bring out the tear gas to keep these people out of the neighborhood. There comes a time when enough is enough. Time to stop being Mr. Nice Guys here and make a statement to say you can't be here disturbing the peace and privacy of the people that live in this neighborhood. Now, earlier this week, Justice Kavanaugh was targeted by a group of people who found out he was eating at this steakhouse in downtown DC. He was forced to exit through the back of the restaurant, but the management fired back at the protesters, condemning their actions. They wrote, Honorable Supreme Court Justice Kavanaugh and all of our other patrons at the restaurant were unduly harassed by unruly protesters while eating dinner at our Morton's restaurant. Politics, regardless of your side or views, should not trample the freedom at play of the right to congregate and eat dinner. There is a time and place for everything. Disturbing the dinner of all of our customers was an act of selfishness and void of decency, which I 100% agree with this response. The freedom of these justices and their families are at risk here. And what does the White House think about all this type of behavior coming from their own supporters? We find out exactly what they think when Peter Doocy from Fox News presses Joe Biden's press secretary on the justice's right to privacy.
People should be allowed to be able to do that.
In a restaurant?
If it's outside of a restaurant, if it's peaceful, for sure.
Really?
Peaceful protest. Your first question to me was intimidation.
So these justices, because protesters do not agree with an opinion that they signed on to, have no right to privacy, is what you're saying.
But Peter, this is people have the right to, this is what a democracy is. People have the right
to privacy?
Of course people have a right to privacy, but people also have a right to be able to protest peacefully.
Is that
peacefully? It's the intimidation and the violence that we condemn.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. She confirmed it. They are perfectly okay with people protesting outside of restaurants. But you notice how they always use the term peaceful as a way to defend these protesters. peaceful or not, the issue at hand here is the right to privacy. The right to go in and out of your own home without having to fear for your safety. This administration is the biggest joke I have witnessed in my lifetime in the White House. And as long as we have certain politicians advocating for this type of rhetoric and behavior, it's only going to continue to get worse. This is why crime is spiraling out of control like never before in these Democrat-led cities. There's no punishment anymore. There's no one being held accountable for their wrongdoing. Now, according to a Fox News survey from last month, the majority of the people, 55%, says it's inappropriate to protest outside their homes. Now, a whopping 58% of Democrats, of course, think this is okay. I find it interesting that 20% of Republicans think it's okay for people to protest and harass the Supreme Court justices right outside of their own home. The Supreme Court Marshal has asked Maryland and Virginia to enforce local and state laws prohibiting protests at these judges' homes, but there's concern of violating First Amendment rights. But it sounds like to me both state and federal officials are afraid of these protesters. I know sidewalks and streets are considered public property in most areas, but you have a rowdy group using bull horns, disrupting the peace and privacy in a neighborhood. You have to draw the line and push back on this type of behavior. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I try to get along with liberals, but their mentality just won't allow me. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, and post your reactions in the comments section below. I hope you all have a great week ahead. Stay safe. And until next time, I am out.